dugsiga boardingka iyo maalinlaha ah ee
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ramadan Kareem, my dear students. This is lesson 2 of chapter 6 or unit 6, the excretory system. In our last lesson, we learned about the excretory system, generally what the excretory system is. So, said excretion is a name given by the removal of waste is produced by chemical reactions from the body. So when we are talking about excretion, we are not talking about all waste is produced by the body. We are just focusing on only the wastes that are produced by the chemical reactions happening or taking place in the body. So let's look at lesson 2. Today in last lesson we learned four excretory organs: the liver, the skin, the lungs, and the kidneys. But the kidneys are the major excretory organ in our body. So the kidneys are bean-shaped organs. They look like a bean. Everybody knows a bean, because we eat beans. Beans. It's a bean-shaped. It's a bean-shaped structure, which are present in each of the sides of the vertebral column. We have two kidneys. You see, when we are using this, that means we have two kidneys, which each one lies, the sides of the vertebral column. Vertebral column is the backbone, and in the abdominal cavity. Your body is divided into three: the head, the chest, and the abdomen. So kidneys are found in the abdomen, back of the abdomen, please, somewhere here. Humans have two kidneys, and each kidney is supplied with blood from the renal artery. Each kidney has a specific type of blood vessel, which is called a renal artery. So renal means kidney. Renal means what? Kidney. It supplies blood from to the kidneys, and it's branched off from the aorta, the main blood vessel. Kidneys remove the nitrogenous waste from the blood, such as urea, salts, and excess water, please. So if you see that word, nitrogenous wastes, it is a waste product which contains nitrogen. It's a waste product which contains a nitrogen. So it's usually be the byproduct of proteins, like urea, please. Example is urea. But if you are asked what is a nitrogenous waste, you can simply say it is a waste produced by the body which contains what? A nitrogen. These are removed by the kidney in the form of what? In the form of urine. So urine contains a lot of different wastes. So this is how your kidneys remove the wastes from the body. This is done by the help of millions of nephrons. A nephron, this is the building block of the kidney. The building blocks of the kidney, a nephron. Millions of nephrons present in the kidneys. It's, I think, roughly, some folks say it's around 7 million nephrons per kidney. 7 million nephrons per kidney. The filtrated blood is carried away from the kidneys by the renal vein. So if I try to draw the kidney here, it's something like this. So it has, number one, a vessel which supplies blood to the kidney, and this is the renal artery. It also have another blood vessel which carries blood away from it. It's called a renal vein, and also it has another structure which is called ureter, So this supplies blood to the kidney, and this carries blood away from the kidney, but this structure carries the urine from the kidney. It carries the urine from the kidney to the urinary bladder, please, to the urinary bladder. So this is the three, important tubes that kidney has. Renal artery brings blood to the kidney. Renal vein carries blood away from the kidney, and ureter carries urine from the kidney to the bladder, please, to the bladder. So the urine from the kidneys is collected by the ureter, from each kidney, and is passed into the urinary bladder. So have you ever asked it, how long does your urinary bladder can store urine? What do you think? How many hours can the human urinary bladder store the urine? Okay, if you give you the given time, for example, a fixed time, for example, if you say 3 hours, you see, we know that the day contains 24 hours. So 24 divided by 3 is going to be what? 6. Sorry, not 6. 24 divided by 3 is 8. So that means you should go to the toilet 8 times a day, because it is a fixed, So we cannot give a fixed time to the and amount of time that the urinary bladder can store urine. We can say it depends on either the weather, it depends on the food, on the liquids the person is drinking. When the urinary bladder becomes full, signals are sent from the human brain, and then we feel that we need to go to toilet and empty it. Sometimes if you don't have time, you are maybe on a track, you are on bed, you are in a very interesting class, you are not going to leave the class, so another signal that will be sent to the urinary bladder, then it will stretch, and then as the urinary bladder stretches, the volume gets down, and then you feel that you don't need to the toilet again. So the urinary bladder collects and stores the urine until urination, which means when we urinate, when we remove the urine. The urine collected in the bladder is passed into the external environment from the body through an opening called urethra. So urethra is a small tube which carries urine from the urinary bladder to the outside environment. So in females, it does only one function, which is the taking urine from the urinary bladder to the outside environment. But in males, it does two functions. It takes urine outside of the body, and also it takes sperm cells, during sexual intercourse. Kidneys perform several homeostatic functions, such as, the word homeostatic means keeping the body more or less constant. Homeostatic. There are a number of reactions which take place in our body which needs to keep them at a constant speed, so that they can produce the normal products. For example, we have a constant body temperature, we have a constant we should keep your blood pressure more or less constant, level of sugar more or less constant, water more or less constant, and so on. So it does some of these homeostatic functions. Number one, it maintains volume of extracellular fluid, including water, please. Maintains. We can also say this osmo regulation, please. Osmo regulation. Osmo regulation. Osmo regulation. Osmo means what? Osmo means water, please. Water balance. So in the day, there are 2,600 centimeter cubic in with 2,000 cc centimeter cube of water outtake. This balance is very important. This balance is what? Very important. And let me give you one importance of this balance. There is, we know that there is a kind of relationship between the cells and the and the blood. So blood supplies nutrients to the cells and also carries waste from the cells. This is regulated by the amount of blood in the cell and the amount of blood in amount of water in the cell and the amount of water in the blood. So if the amount of water in the blood is somehow disturbed, the relationship may be lost. So to keep this relationship more or less existed, the amount of water in the blood must be kept constantly. It must be kept constant. So osmo regulation is very important. Number 2, maintains ionic balance in extracellular fluid. For example, if there are too much salts, sodium ions in your blood, then your heart rate may increase. So if this happens, we need kidneys to remove more sodium ions from the body so that the pressure will decrease or go back to its normal. So maintaining ions in the blood is also very important. It's also very important. It's also very important. Number 3, maintain pH and osmotic concentration of the extracellular fluid. So keeping pH also constant is very important. pH, the level of basicity or acidity, the level of basicity of acidity, So when we are going to talk about pH, that means it's when we are going to talk about the strength and weakness of acids and bases. So keeping the pH, especially blood pH, more or less constant is very important. It's very important. Otherwise, it damages your body cells. Excrete toxic metabolic byproducts such as urea, ammonia, and uric acids from the body. So here you have what's the word byproduct. A byproduct is a product which is produced without a purpose. For example, urea. When excess amino acids cannot be stored by the body. So for these excess amino acids to be stored by the body, they must be converted into glycogen. This is done by the liver. And the process is called deamination. So when excess amino acids are being converted into glycogen, amine groups must be removed from the amino acids. So this is the product we need to get glycogen. But again, there is another product which we don't need, which is what? A urea. So this is why it's called a byproduct, because we don't need it. The main reason why the amination happens is not to get a urea, it's to get the amino acids, glycogen. So it removes these toxic substances from the body. And again, in the first sentence, we saw what's called nitrogenous waste. All these 3 are examples of nitrogenous waste. Urea, uric acid, ammonia, these are all examples of this. So that's all what we have today. So inshallah you will watch the TV, read the and handouts, and do the homeworks inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Amano boarding and day school.